I'm trying not to be like weird.
It's okay. So Robin, have you ever heard of the SMART breakdown of goals?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna be upset if you were the only one on, and then you'd already.
I'm one and only person that's here has heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it was last weekend. I went to my job's. We had like a Saturday meeting or something. It was kind of set up like a conference. So I got to choose classes. And so I took this class on like mindful goal setting. And on a side note, the reason why I wanted to do this call and wanted to share this with you is because I felt like 2015 was this year that just flew by. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I was so hopeful. I was so excited for the year. And I had all these big dreams, and then none of them happened. And I feel like, well, here we are again. I feel like it was a year ago. And so why didn't those things happen? And I realized is like I had these big dreams, and then I never took the time to sit down and like create an action plan for them. So when they were talking about at this conference, these SMART goals, they really want to help you so that we can break down our big goals, because I know we all have them. And I think we get intimidated by them, and they just kind of seem, oh, that would be nice. And, you know, we wish for it instead of actually trying to achieve that goal. So what the SMART system is, and I should have made a slide, but I'll just tell you. So you just break down the word SMART. So the first one is S for specific. And so you want to be very specific with your goal. And I'm going to apply this towards like getting healthy.
Okay.
So a lot of times we ourselves or our customers have, oh, I want to get healthy. You know, we all want that. But then we're like, well, I don't even know where to start. I guess I should work out. I guess I should, you know, eat better. And I guess that'll be healthy. But like, you know, like it's not like a tangible goal. So basically, you want to take whatever goal you have and be very specific with it, and start with being specific. So your goal is to be healthy. So what does that mean to you? So you need to take time and think about who, what, when, where, how, why, and really break apart like what this means to you. And so, you know, what does being healthy mean to you? So, so basically you kind of want to look at it like, all right, so especially like when we're talking to our customers or our friends and they say, I want to get healthy. And this is, you know, something we were trained as being part of the Bombshell Dynasty is we want to get to their why. And, you know, if someone says, oh, I want to get healthy, you're like, great, here's the 21-day fix. That'll help you get healthy. But, you know, that doesn't help them in the long run if we're not understanding like what it means for them to be healthy, because what you're healthy probably means something different than what my idea of being healthy is. So that's when we want to basically get to the why for our customers. And so, you know, maybe my idea of getting healthy is like, I want to be able to cook healthier meals and food that, you know, I feel good afterwards, and something that will fill up my husband. And, you know, for example, my children, you know, so that later on I can teach my children how to have a healthy lifestyle instead of passing on these bad habits I have now. So really when you start like analyzing what your goal is and what it means to you, and being specific on what it means to you instead of such a broad one, then we can move forward, because now we know what we're actually trying to work for. Okay, you know, like I want to learn how to meal prep better, or, you know, make healthier dishes. So S in SMART goes towards specific. And then M is measurable. So we want to be able to measure our goals. So maybe we, you know, for myself on Saturdays, I do Saturday. So then I take my stats, or, you know, I kind of view the week and how I did. And, oh, gee, you know, I went out to dinner Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably wasn't the best with getting healthy. So you want to have some form to be able to track and measure your goals, whatever they are. And so that you can actually be making progress instead of going, oh yeah, meal prepping would be nice, but you can't really tell, if you're making progress or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so then A is attainable. So this one is something that you kind of want to make sure, like, oh, I weigh 180 pounds and I want to be 115 in the next 2 months. That's not realistic. And, and then that's going to be not healthy for you. So you want to make sure that your goal, and I like to preface this is I don't want you to think that any goal is, incapable of happening or impossible, but that it's realistic. And that kind of goes into the R, because R and SMART can go towards realistic and relevant. They're kind of very similar. But you want to make sure that your goal is attainable and realistic. So if you want to say in 6 months, I want to lose 20 pounds, you're like, great, that's realistic and that is attainable if you stick to, your goals. So, then that leads into R, and R is relevant. So it wants to make sure that when you're making these goals that so say like, oh, I want to be healthy, so I'm going to look at like pictures in a magazine to inspire me. Like, make sure that you're not like getting off track with your goals and like, oh, well, this will help me. Or, like you go onto Pinterest for eating, clean recipes, but then you're distracted on pictures and more pictures. So to be like narrowed in and focused on your goal instead of having the broad, I want to be healthy, and then getting distracted by all the little things that come along the way. So, and then T is time bound. So when you have a goal, we have to, and this helps with measuring it, is that we want to make sure that we have a date or like a set time when that this needs to happen. So it's like, oh, I want to be healthy, but I don't know, I don't have an end date, I just want to be healthy. But if you say, oh, in the next 3 months, I want to have lost 10 pounds, or I, want to have fit into my skinny jeans. So making sure that you have something instead of wishy-washy. So that makes you more, more committed to your goal instead of like, oh, well, this year I'm going to get healthy. Maybe I'll do it in November and December instead of something sooner. Exactly. So when they were talking about this, what helps you is to kind of create a statement that inspires you, that goes over each of these SMART goals or outlines, so that you can have something that keeps you in line with your goals and inspires you. And kind of along the lines of what I was talking to you, Robin, before, was affirmations and visualizations and having kind of like a power statement. So they have these for these as well. So like this one, they wrote down something like, okay, the original goal was to be healthy, and then creating a statement along with the SMART outline would be something along the lines of, to be healthy and present, my vision for a healthy family. I want to research recipes on Wednesday for 2 hours. I'd like to plan meals for 30 minutes on the weekends, and I'm committed to this. By April 9th, I'll be in my size 8 jeans. So like when you have a statement that breaks down basically everything you're committed to doing, has the time-bound commitment to it, as well as including the vision at the beginning of why you're doing this, to have a healthy family or to have cleaner meals. So that way that you can kind of have something that like you can put somewhere that you can see, so it reminds you, and then it kind of just gets stuck in your head. Like every time you start to read it, you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, and this is like exactly what's going to help me stay on track. And it's like, oh, I was going to meal prep on Sunday night, and what happened to that? Like, I guess I need to get on track. So it's just kind of like little tidbits that kind of help keep you on track with your goals. Because I can easily see, it's almost towards the end of January, and how did that happen? I mean, like, I felt like it was just Christmas, and now it's already going quickly. And if we don't spend time actually thinking about what we want out of 2016 or what we even want out of our lives, you know, the years are just going to pass by, and we're going to be like, oh, gee, there it went, you know, like, oh, I didn't get to the healthy body I wanted, or, you know, I didn't get to go on that trip to Paris. And if I had just planned for it, I probably could have made it happen. So the reason why I'm just kind of like hounding these goals on the team is I just don't want anybody to not live, I don't want anybody to regret anything or watch their time go by and think, oh, gee, you know, I could have worked out that time. I had the time. I just wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't being intentional with my goals. So I think that's basically just something I'm very passionate about right now, and I don't want anybody to feel disappointed with the time that they spent. So basically, that's the SMART goals. It was super easy, and when she did this presentation, I kind of was like laughing the whole time because they were really corny about it. They're like, gee, I want to be healthy. And I was just like, wow, I could get up there and do a better job. So, but I mean, it helps kind of to find a system that works for you to break down your goals, and so that you can actually see them come to pass in fruition, and make sure that like they're not just something that is something pretty on your vision board. Like, I'm really gung-ho for making stuff happen this year. Do you have any questions, Robin? I kind of went through it super fast.
Oh, no, it's okay. No, that was actually really good, because then you, like, I wasn't sure where you were going with the whole statement thing, but then when you read it, I was like, oh, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of figure out what it is and then write a statement, and that's basically your goal.
Right.
And how you're going to get there. So.
Right. And it's kind of like a contract, like, okay,
yeah,
I wrote this out. This is what I'm sticking to. This is what I'm committing to. And that's what I like about the statement too, is it basically kind of lines out like the who, what, when, where in a statement. Like, I am going to get to my goal. This is my goal, you know, to have a healthy family and to have nice dinners together, and then breaking down like what you're going to do. So like every Sunday night, I'm going to meal prep. Every Wednesday, I'm going to find new recipes. So I really like breaking that down, because then it seems so much more attainable, as opposed to like, oh, I got to get healthy, I don't know what to do. And I think that, you know, being in this industry for a little bit, we kind of, you know, it's easier for us, so it's not so scary, or we kind of know what we need to do. But, you know, when there's other big goals, like, that can be applied to anything. So it's like, if you wanted to go on a trip to Paris, or how am I going to pay for Nashville, or something like that, or, you know, how am I going to hit Success Club every month? So it could be applied to anything that you really want in this life, or what's important to you or your business. So like, that can be so helpful, because there's some things that just are like, oh, I don't even know how I'm going to do that. So if I could just break it down into smaller chunks instead of trying to eat the whole thing at once, like, then it seems much more doable and less scary. And then you're kind of like excited about it again, instead of like, like, I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to afford that. And now it's like, okay, well, if I save $100 a month, like, which is doable, like, I can get there. And then you're like, all right, I don't want to go out and eat because I've got to save my $100. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it gives you like little goals and little tasks and little games and little, you know, things along the way to hit, you know, because that's what I like. That's what I like about doing the meal prepping, or keeping track of what I eat, because then it's like I can make it a game, and I can, you know, pick and choose, and I can go, well, I'm not going to have that, because if I have that, then I can't have this, and I really want to have this today, and, you know, it makes it a game, and that's what I kind of missed about it. So when I started doing it again, last week or so, it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is really fun. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because then you just kind of get, it feels fun instead of like a chore or you're missing
Yeah.
out on something. And it takes your mind off of the cravings or whatever the heck you want in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like really important too, like if you're going to be talking to people and helping people with their goals, because this happens so much of the time. Like people say, oh, I'm reaching out to you because I see that you're doing max 30. Like, how do you like that? And you're like, oh, great. Like, you're interested. How can, what part are you interested about? And so when you have kind of like this set up, then you kind of have a script to ask them these kind of questions. That way it can break it down for you as the coach to help them figure out what is really important to them. Because if they don't really have a vision or they don't really understand it yet, they're not going to be, feeling obligated to stick with it.
Right.
When I first bought Brazil Butt Lift, I didn't know, I bought it, I loved it, I was excited, and then a week later I was quitting because I had nobody helping me, and I didn't really know, I didn't have a support system, or there wasn't anybody who knew about my goals besides myself. And then it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, when we could do this for our challengers or for our coaches in other areas, like this is so much easier. So then you can understand what's important to them and help keep them accountable. Because you're like, hey, you told me you wanted to do this so you could have a healthier lifestyle for your family and be able to pass it on to your children. And then they're like, oh, yeah, gee, like, I can't quit now because that is so much more important to me than, skipping this workout tonight.
Yeah. Well, it also, I think, in the very beginning, it gives them, and us for that matter, the light that's at the end of the tunnel, and then also kind of tidbits along the way on how they're going to get there. So if you showed them this is where you are now, this is where you want to be, and this is how we're going to get there, it's more, relatable and more attainable that way too.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're just taking out, like we understand now, like the steps that we need to take. So it's like they may be starting on, step 1, and they want to get to 5, and maybe they don't know how to get to 5, but that's why we come in, and now we have experience over the last couple of years. So we could go, okay, well, next step is number 2. And let's focus on number 2, and then we'll get to 3, 4. And then we'll get you to 5. But like, now we have experience so that we can help them with this. And so then they won't be so overwhelmed by everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, well, I hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
I definitely think you should get this book because it's really awesome.
Okay.
And so when you need a new book, it's good. And I bought another book the other day, and I don't want to start it yet because I just want to give this one my all because I really can tell already how this is so helpful. So I just highly recommend it, and it's kind of just, it's been a really good. And it's funny because I started this book a year ago, and I put it down because I was like, this is boring. But
oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, but now I'm like, this is amazing. But I wasn't ready for it then.
No.
I wasn't in the right
ready.
So that's a fun thing.
Awesome. I'll have to go on Amazon then. I went to Barnes & Noble earlier today on my way home from church and was looking around, but I didn't even think of that book. I thought, well, I have plenty of books. I got to read the books I have.
I know, right? I have a whole bookshelf. Half of them to be read.
Read the books I have.
That's the hard part is like an addiction. It's like, oh, I got another book.
That's right. I just want the stuff. Like, this is all the books I have. Have I done anything with it? No.
That's why I'm like, hey, you have to finish this one.
What other book did you get?
It's called Big Magic.
Oh.
It's by what's her name? Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, okay.
Have you read that book? You'd like that one too. Well, you should read, and you should watch the movie if you haven't watched the movie.
I watched the movie, a couple years ago.
Yeah. But the book's really good. because it's just interesting to like watch a woman's journey. So,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of like learning how to love yourself and stop letting other people, you know, or trying to bend over backwards for other people. So that's why I really liked it. But so she wrote this one. I've heard a lot of good things from other coaches who like this one. I think this one's more a personal development versus a story. So
Yeah.
so yeah, but I know. Focus on this one. I mean, because look, I had this one for a year now, and I'm just like, let me probably read it.
Yeah, but you needed it, and now it's good. It's going. It's working for you.
Exactly. Okay, well, I'm gonna go work out because it's 7:00 and I haven't done it yet.
Oh, I did already.
I know, I saw it from my couch, and I was like, good job.
I came home from church, and I was like, Lori was taking a nap. Mike was, I don't know where, and I thought, I'm gonna go upstairs and change and do it right now. Because if I don't do it right now, then I won't do it till later. As of, I'm gonna say this. As of this morning, I'm down 8 pounds.
Yay!
So I'm like,
good.
Yay!
Aww, that must feel really good.
I'm so excited. I'm like, okay, I can, still eat out everything that I want to eat, and I can work out when I want to work out. And this whole morning, like working out in the morning thing is amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of a quote for you, and now I can't find it, but when I find it, it was, I seriously read this book and I'm like, Robin. But it was something along those lines of, I don't even remember what you just said that reminded me, but it was something like, like once you just get, what is it? Oh, there's so many good things in here. But it was something like, you have to get over the fear. Understand there's a fear, is very real. But you kind of have to just, I can't, see, I'm trying to like sum up a chapter in a sentence for you. But they were talking about how like fear is kind of like a 2-year-old child. Like the child is scared to go to the grocery store because something might happen at the grocery store. They might be taken or they get lost, separated from you. But you have to go get groceries, so you have to bring that dang 2-year-old with you. And so it's like you have to go and do things whether you want to or not. And you have to go with the fear. Like, yes, it's real, this, you have to have this kid with you. And then it was something along those lines also with like, you have to just do it anyway. And like, once you start doing it, you start feeling stronger. And it just reminded me of you in this past summer and like how you just got over it and just did it, whether that kid was screaming or not, you just went in and did it. And then you felt more powerful and then the kid got quieter, So it was something along those lines. I'm totally massacring it right now, but
no, but that's good. The kid got quieter. That's good.
You get the point, but when you're ready, this is waiting for you. But I'm just really happy to see you on the call, Robin, and I can tell you have the sparkle back in your eyes, so I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I need to work out.
Go work out.
Or I'll just
go work out
all night.
Go work out.
All right, girl. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.